Hey everybody, I wanted to talk about the overlap mechanic on Vexamus and algeth'ar Academy. There are basically two mechanics you want to worry about. There's the mana bomb and the arcane fissure. The mana bomb happens every 25 seconds, leaves a 4-second debuff and explodes after the 4 seconds. And then the fissure is just a damage event. And the overlap is essentially when you have the mana bombs popping off after their 4 seconds at the same time as a arcane fissure comes out. And if you do absolutely nothing, this happens on the third arcane fissure. So here let's see an example of the mana bombs going out. There it goes. Mana bombs. So it picks a few people, and then it pops off after 4 seconds and does a fairly robust amount of damage. And then you have the arcane fissure happening in 7 seconds. And that will be here. That's just a big group AoE. The problem is when they go off at the same time. We let a orb in here, which created an overlap earlier than it would have otherwise occurred. But just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. And so orb goes in, and now you see that we have mana bombs happening 5 seconds before an arcane fissure. And so that's going to be an overlap. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. There you go. So now we have mana bombs happening in 3 seconds, and arcane fissure happening in 7 seconds. Thankfully, key too low and we don't die here. But you have bomb, and then that's popping off about the same second that fissure goes off. And so you can see that we almost get clapped here. But not ideal. So basically this happens, like I said, naturally on the third arcane fissure. I have a few logs to show you guys. So I have 3 filters, one for the fissure, one for the bomb, and then one for when the orb gets soaked. This guy here. These people didn't soak any orbs. This is going to be bomb, bomb, fissure, bomb, fissure, bomb, fissure, which is the third one, and this is the overlap, and then there's no more overlaps if you do it this way. So if you don't do any soaks, there's no overlaps at all. Or sorry, if you don't do any soaks, you get the overlap on 3, but there's no further overlaps. Whereas if you soak an orb after the second fissure, you can skip this overlap, but then you will you're essentially just postponing it, and you'll get it on number 6, which is about 4.5 minutes into the fight. So it kind of just depends on how fast you're killing the boss. So this is one group. They didn't soak any orbs, and as you can see, the overlap occurs on the third event of fissure because you have bomb and then fissure. Another example where you have mana bombs, fissure, mana bomb, fissure, mana bomb, and then mana bomb fissure overlap on number 3. Here's another example with no soaks. We can go to a soak one after. You have bomb, fissure, bomb, fissure, bomb, fissure, and then that's the overlap right there is when you have bomb right before the fissure. And then here's an example of where they soaked before the 4th fissure, so after the 3rd fissure, which is kind of like what people say to do, which I don't think is exactly correct. So here you have bomb, fissure, bomb, fissure, but they're like spread apart enough. Bomb, and then you have a bomb fissure overlap on 3, and then they soak an orb, and it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really prevent an overlap. It's just extra damage that they take. I think that was the only one that I found that soaked there. These people, I think, did what is correct, where they did, they soaked an orb right after the second fissure. And so that's going to be bomb, fissure, bomb, fissure, and then bomb. And you're going to soak an orb right at the end of the bomb. Like right after the bomb goes off, you get healed up, and then you soak an orb. There's an opportunity for a soak there. And that moves this fissure right here up, which would otherwise be after this bomb to right in front of it. So essentially like reverses the overlap. So instead of being bomb into fissure, it's fissure into bomb, which is just a lot safer because those 4 seconds when the bomb is ticking down on you, you can get healed up essentially. And then if they had fought longer, they would have gotten another overlap. That's the basics of it. The idea is I think you want to soak after the second fissure and Soaking after third, I think, is troll. Alternatively, you can just not soak any and plan for big defensive on the third fissure. But either way, just either planning for one of those things is good. And then also, in case orbs get accidentally soaked, I do have a weak aura that will show the difference between the fissure and the bomb. I can show you that here. And this weak aura just shows the time difference between the bomb and the arcane fissure. And so I think that this is kind of convenient because, you know, if things accidentally go in, it kind of lets you know when you're going to have an overlap. And it's basically when this is like between, you know, -8 and 0. 0 is actually fine. But it'd be like -8 and maybe like -2. And so here you can see the overlap just coming right up. So that's the basics of it. I would soak either never or one orb after 2. So here we have the second fissure happening. The second fissure happens, and then balls will spawn. And it's actually a little tricky because you want to let the ball go in, but not at the time that the mana bombs go out. And so, like, I don't think it's good to let one of these first ones go in. I think you want the farthest one to be soaked, essentially, right? In this case, I let one go in there. But I think you want that farthest one to go. That way you get healed up from the bomb that just goes out. Let's get right here. That's the one you want to go in. Anyways, that's all I got. Hopefully this is helpful. And I can share the weak aura as well in the post. Take care. Good luck.